Today we are going to make this beautiful rosehip oil and pink sea salt goat milk soap. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie from The Farmhouse Mom, and today we are going to make an incredible soap. I made this coconut oil, goat milk soap, rosehip oil, so many great things in it. I can't even say it in one sentence. This is such a beautiful skin conditioning, clarifying, gorgeous face soap. I'm so excited to show you how to make it. Okay, let's get to work. My hair is super wild today. I just took a shower and so it is crazy. It's afternoon here on the farm. The lighting is probably not the best, but we're not gonna let any of that stop us. We are going to make an awesome goat milk soap, and it is going to be a beautiful gift for Valentine's Day for your friends and family. I'm making this for my sisters and my nieces and my sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law, so I really hope they enjoy it. I had so much fun making it. I've already used a bar this morning and it felt so wonderful on my skin. So we're gonna first talk about all of the ingredients that are in it. Then we're gonna make the soap, and then along the way, I'll explain to you just a little bit of the science behind it and some different ways that you can make soap. The best thing to do is to make somebody's tried and true recipe, get the hang of it. It's just like sourdough, honestly. Make somebody else's recipe, and then you start to understand the science behind it, and you can just kind of make your own. So I'm gonna show you exactly what I do. All right, so I always use a lye calculator, and I use soapcalc.net. I type in what I'm gonna do and it gives me the amount of lye I should use, the amount of goat milk soap, and everything that I need. So I'm gonna be looking at this computer here off to the side. So if you see me looking at it, that's what it is. We also are going to be using some pink kaolin clay. This is a natural exfoliator. It's so beautiful. I didn't have to use any dyes or mica pigments in the soap. It came out such a beautiful pink color from the clay and from the salt. So this is so wonderful for your skin. We also are using some rosehip oil. So I have been using rosehip oil for a while for my skin. I really love it, and it just occurred to me that you can make your own rosehip oil. I have a rose garden, so this summer I'm going to be making my own rosehip oil. So we're going to use this. We're going to use some olive oil. We're going to use some coconut oil. And then I did use some lavender to scent it, and I get my lavender from Brambleberry. There's nothing wrong with getting it from Amazon, just make sure that it's a really good source. And then we are just gonna use our silicone molds. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is melt our oils. So you can find this recipe on thefarmhousemom.com. Give me just a day or two to put it up. I'm working on my website and I'm working on getting blog posts, which take a long time to make, but I will put just a quick recipe on there. So for this recipe, I am gonna be using 400 grams of coconut oil. I'm gonna go ahead and just measure it out first before I put it in the pot. So we need 400 grams of coconut oil. And this is a smaller recipe. I'm not making a huge recipe. I'm not making like a 2-pound recipe. I'm just wanting to make enough for some gifts and to put them in these little silicone molds. So I'm doing a 500 gram, which is, I think that's 1 pound. Okay, so we have 400 grams of coconut oil. And then we are gonna do 25 grams of shea butter. So I get my shea butter off of Amazon, and it's from Africa. I have had really good luck with this shea butter. It smells good, it looks good. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, 25 grams. And this is a heavy coconut oil soap. It is 80% coconut oil. We're gonna do 50 grams of olive oil. The boys just went and picked up our half a cow. We bought a cow and we split it with my sister. And so I try to find days that are quiet to film for you guys, but you know, it's a farm, I have kids, so it's not gonna be quiet all the time. Okay, so I've got 400 grams of coconut oil, 25 grams of shea butter, 50 grams of olive oil, and then 25 grams of rosehip oil. And I just got this off of Amazon. So the reason that I talk to myself as I am doing this, because I think the last time I made soap on camera, I totally forgot an ingredient. So I need a little assistance with my menopause brain just to make sure that I am doing everything correctly. Okay, so we have our coconut oil, our shea butter, our olive oil, and our rosehip oil. So we are going to melt this on the stove. I have melted it in the microwave before. I just don't feel like it heats very evenly in the microwave, and I feel like it gets the shea butter way too hot. I don't like microwaves anyway. We actually didn't have a microwave in our old farm. I don't like them, but my husband wanted one. So anyway, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and heat this on the stove, and then we will get our goat milk and lye ready. Okay, so I have some goat milk that I froze yesterday, and I did a 25% lye concentration. So I need 207 grams of water or goat milk. So you can, goat milk just makes it more conditioning for your skin, but you can make this recipe without goat milk. You can just make it with water. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and get the lye. So for that, I'm going to need my eye protection and some gloves. Okay, my phone stopped recording, but I have 70 grams of lye in here that I have weighed out. So we are going to put our lye in our frozen goat milk. So if you're using water, you can just dump the lye right in the water, but the lye will heat up the milk and scorch the sugars that is in the goat milk. So that's why you typically use frozen milk, because you want to control the heat. Okay, so we have our oils heated and melted. We have our goat milk or water and lye mixture ready, and we are ready to put them together. So I feel like you would rather see that happen than look at me. So I'm gonna turn around the camera and you are going to be able to see me make it in the bowl. Okay, this is down to 100 degrees. So we are gonna add 2 teaspoons of our pink kaolin clay, and I'm gonna make them heaping teaspoons. And I'm gonna use my stick blender, and I'm gonna blend all that in. Isn't that so pretty? That's such a pretty pink. All right, so we have our oils and our clay, and now we are going to add our lye mixture. And I always strain it because there might be a little bit of lye that did not get dissolved. So let's make sure that this is a good temperature. So that's 89, and the oils are saying 92. Good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pour that in. And now we will blend it to trace. Okay, so our soap is at trace. It's leaving a little bit of a film when we pick up the blender. So what we are now going to do is add 50% of our oil weight in salt. So we're gonna do 250 grams of salt. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pour this salt in. And we are ready to pour. Okay, so we have our soap poured, and now I'm going to pour the rest of it. So I am used to working with lard or with tallow, mostly with tallow, with beef tallow. And while I do add coconut oil to my soaps, it's not usually my main ingredient. And this soap is 80% coconut oil. And that is the reason why my video is a day late, because with tallow and with lard, that animal fat, it just sets up really quickly. And when I made this yesterday, it was a couple of hours, and I usually can unmold after a couple of hours when I make tallow soap. Got a little bit of salt left here. And this was still very runny, so I was really worried. I'm like, oh no, I've done something wrong, but I didn't do anything wrong. It's just the coconut oil and the tallow or lard works really differently. All right, so we have our soap poured. Oh no, I forgot to add our lavender. I told you every time I make soap, I always forget. So, I could pour it back in and add the lavender. It is very soapy still. You want to do that? Let's do that. Let's pour all of the soap back in and add the lavender. I think that'll be nicer since these are gifts. If it was just for me, it might not be that big of a deal. But these are going to be gifts, so let's make sure that we add the lavender in. And I'm going to add 15 grams of lavender. So I'm just going to use my little Pyrex here. And we've got 15, perfect. We will dump that in. I'll blend it again. And now we will re-pour. All right, so as I was saying, I usually work with tallow and lard, and I've never made an 80% coconut oil soap before. But what I really love about the coconut oil is what just happened. It takes a while for it to get hard. And so it gives you more time if you are wanting to make designs or make different colors, or if you forget your fragrance oil like I just did. Usually when I'm making lard soap or tallow soap, it gets hard immediately, and I don't have a lot of time to go back and fix mistakes. Okay, so here's my soap that I re-poured, and then here is the soap that I made yesterday. And I think I'm gonna sprinkle a little salt on top. That's what I did yesterday. Hey, Bubby. You're getting a flashlight, okay. You're finding a caterpillar. All right, the flashlight's right here. Here's the flashlight. Okay, we'll go get Fuzzy. I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about the science behind the soap. So how I usually make soap is with lard or tallow with animal fats. And I usually do a 5% superfat. This soap was made at a 20% superfat. So superfat is the amount of oils, fats that is left in your soap after you mix the lye. So you mix the lye with the oils, and the lye molecules bind with the oil molecules, and it makes a salt, it makes soap. You generally leave about 5% of oils that are unbound with the lye. That's your moisturizing properties for your soap. A 20% superfat is a really high amount of fat left. You can have your soap go rancid. So that's so much oil that there's no preservatives in this soap, and so it could go bad. Coconut oil is really drying on your skin, and so the extra percentage of superfat, it works with the coconut oil. So if you've never made soap before, these terms might sound a little confusing, but that's what you want to look for when you're making soap. You're looking at your percentage of oils, your percentage of water or liquid milk, whatever you're using, and then your percentage of lye. And that's what's gonna make it harden, and that's what's gonna make it soap. I have to say, I really, really love this coconut oil soap. I may be a convert. I may start using coconut oil instead of lard, because it was just so fun and so easy. And then you saw that I could fix my mistake really quickly. I think this is going to be a beautiful gift to give to my in-laws and my sisters. I'm so excited to use this soap. So the rosehip oil, the kaolin clay, the coconut oil, and the olive oil are all so great for your skin. If you decide to make this yourself, I will leave the recipe on my website, thefarmhousemom.com, and I also will link all of the ingredients below in the description box, and I'm working on getting those links on my website too, so it's more convenient for you just to go to one place and just click. I also want to say thank you guys so much. We are just a couple hundred away from 10,000 subscribers. I'm having so much fun sharing my homemaking and my hobbies here on the farm with you, and I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys stopping by the farm on Tuesdays and Fridays to see what we're up to, and I will see you guys Tuesday. I hope you have a great weekend.